So I start off and 2 already. I feel like I'm famous now. How you doing, Rob? And Al, the man that never sleeps. Yeah, I am a minute early. Trust me to be premature. Oh, new background. Do we like our little meditation woman? The other one, like the arse slaps, it's probably going to get cancelled at some point. So this one now, see, new woman, up, and we can do this now. Oh, one day I'll become mature, and then everyone will stop watching me. So I was going to do this tonight anyway. This video idea or live idea come from I was in the chat on Chuckin's live, and I asked, what other frames do you do that are 95? Yo, Turtle, how you doing? So I was in the live chat with Chuckin, and I asked I think Mikey responded. I said, like, what frames do you have that are 95mm? Because that seems to be my jam. And he said it was just the Apex Plus. And then Chuckin said, like, trying to adjust, because, and it is a totally logical sense, there's a lot more frames out there that are 90mm. So the idea occurred to me earlier, if I was to shoot with the, I'm going to use this, so that's the Pulse. That's what I've been shooting for a week or so now. Because this is 95mm and I just seem to be zeroed in on this. So I'm going to do 10 shots with this, and then I'm going to grab a 90mm and try and keep it exactly the same. I'm going to have like the reference point, everything on the same, so I can see where, like, a 90mm, where it's off. So I've already, I know, I'm on this view now. I was playing around with views because now I have this that you've already seen, and because I played around with this earlier, because we've got a paper target in there, I can now do that. Oh, hello Knuckles, how you doing? So, I've got my paper target up. I don't know how well, like, this is like a digital camera zoom. This isn't like, I don't have flashy equipment, like, the camera is not zooming. That is purely like a cropped in of that. So I'm hoping it shows up quite well. It should let me see it a bit easier as well. So, I'm going to do 10 shots with the Pulse, and then we're going to see exactly where things are different, i.e. could I adjust to a 90mm, or is 95 just my thing? Hey Ethan! And so those of you starting late, I've got the new background up. That is, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to turn the light off here because it shows up. I don't know if it will on camera, but it really glows well. Right, I'll turn the black light off just so you've got the comparison. There. That's normal with no black light. There's the black light. Turn sideways. So I'm losing weight. I can actually turn sideways and you can see the So let's put this light back on again. It's good to see you, Ethan. Are you up and around and better now and shooting and things? Right, so I'm gonna, of course, aim right for that centre. That actually shows up really well. You can see that quite clearly. That's about the 2 o'clock mark. I was down here yesterday shooting, and that's why you can see all those strings. I had some of those plaster of Paris ghosts, and I streamed those. See, I get what they're saying. Like, I was trying to think it through logically. Oh, and for those of you that was around at the weekend, as you noticed at the bottom of the thing for this video, it just came to me, it's the Brotherhood of the Hairy Fish. I did look it up, by the way. There is no such thing as a hairy fish. The only time fish get hair is if they have a parasite or bacterial infection. Then they, like, hair grows on that. So there you go. See, I'm educational. Just in case you was losing sleep like I was about hairy fish. See that? I didn't see which one that went through, but that looked like it went through pretty much the same hole. Oh, I can't remember what it's like to go through the same hole. Well, I doubt I'd ever knew what it was like to go through the hole. That would be really frightening to go through the hole. Unless you was wearing like a wetsuit, like a diver's suit. So I'm so going to lose count. So, I'm Todd, nice to meet you. Sure, I'm when I have time. Working home has been crazy. 90 hours a week. Jesus. Sounds like you need to talk to your boss. That you need help. That's like 2 people's work you're doing. Jesus. Nope, that felt wrong. Oh, as you see, Ethan, I know, like, you had all the, like, you were sick and all that. Oh, not on here, but I have got good at the wrap and tuck now. That one's popping off a little bit. There we go. Pop that back on. I'm getting the wrap and tuck thing now. But for you, Ethan, oh. I'll tell you what, like, I've done pickle fork a few times, and I do it like you do. Like, it's a natural thing for, like, when I'm holding the frame out, I'm pushing away and I do a flick. Because, like, in one of your videos about shooting pickle forks, you was doing that. And I just naturally seem to do it. I kind of do it a little bit with this as well. It's not the frame that I'm flicking away. Like, that isn't, like, it's a reflex. I feel like I need to push it away. And that's because of the archery, like I've said a few times, the kind of archery I do, I always flick. Yeah, I've got used to it, Ethan. I hated it, the wrap and tuck, but now it makes sense. Like, as people say, like, if you lose the little wrenches and things like that, you're pretty much screwed. Like, most people use a similar size. But if you're out shooting and you lose it, like, that's it, that's the end. A wrap and tuck, if you've got, like, the material on you to actually put it together, you can do a wrap and tuck. So yeah, I'm liking it more, and especially because I favour natties. Right, that was about 4, I think. So if you hadn't heard, oh, that's actually getting really good. So Ethan, if you hadn't seen this, Mark has got one as well. This is the Pulse. It's from Black Pine. He's a guy in Alberta. I'm in Calgary. He's also in Alberta. He's not far from me, so I was able to actually go and pick this up. But anyone joining, like, that's what I'm trying to do with this, because 95 seems to be my jam. I'm trying to figure out, is it truly like a 95mm thing? Because that Natty that I just showed you is 95, Apex Plus is 95. I've got 2 of those and this, and I'm a lot more accurate with these than any of the others. So everyone here, you're part of my science experiment. I was probably a science experiment. And like for you, Ethan, like the hairy fish thing, it was from my live on Sunday. And if you've watched any of my videos, how my brain just goes off on a tangent, I can't even remember how I got to it. I just suddenly started wondering if there is such thing as a hairy fish. Oh, that was it. I was talking about how weird human beings are naked. Like if you think of like, okay, it looks like all dudes here. So like, if you imagine a woman naked, she's got like the hair patch and then hair on her head, and no other creature out there that I can think of has that. Like it's either like chimpanzees, they're like covered in hair, gorillas, deer, squirrels, like covered in hair, and then there's those that are not, like snakes, lizards, and then that's when my brain went, oh, hairy fish. I wonder if there's a hairy fish. So now, yeah, my brain just went to hairy fish all the time. So it's kind of become a thing in my brain. A bearded clam, yeah. Now you see, Al, I know you seem quite clued up with British things. A clam is also a slang name for. And turtle, yes, I do have an Aries. So that's probably what I'm going to shoot, because that's a 90, if I remember rightly. So that's a good point. I will shoot the Aries. And I've totally lost count. I'm just going to guess and say that was about 6. It looks like I'm being pretty consistent though. And I've got to say, like, I am loving these. Anyone like new to the channel, the reason I've got these things up, I buy these, is because like the basement is like, if you haven't seen my earlier videos, it's just like a mess behind there. It's a big open area of the basement, and I've just got like boxes and things. And so I wanted something just cheap, just to give you a little. I mean, I know I'm the eye candy. That's what you come to see, but you know, just give you a little bit extra. I always give that little bit extra. Right, so that was 6. I don't know. Is anyone counting? I'm actually liking this view. That's why I shoot and then I immediately look, because I can then see where the hole is. I have trouble finding the hole. Unless there's a light coming from it. Go down there. Oh, there's lights shining. Oh man. I think that was about 8. We'll call that 8. So 2 more, and then what I'm going to do is change that paper up, and we can see. And was it Turtle, or was it someone who said about the Aries? It was Turtle, right? Yeah. So I'll do 2 more. I'll change that target. I should try that challenge thing where it's like for hunting. You got to hit, what was it, a golf ball? Something like hit a golf ball 10 times. Hey, Shades. You're also the man that never sleeps. So you and Al. Right. If you just joined, this isn't the last shot. This is the last shot of the 85mm, and then we're gonna well, I'm gonna shoot the Ares. We're not. Well, if you've got an Ares, you can get that out and shoot it. I'm not saying you can't. I'm gonna shoot my Ares. There we go. So anyone, like, I know I've mentioned these before. Anyone interested in those targets? Again, nothing to do with me, but they're free. You don't have to pay. Like, if you have a look at the bottom, there, targets.wsc. Like, you get zombies, you got flies, all kinds of things. Just go to that website, targets.ws. You just print them off, and absolutely free targets. And they're in groups as well. Like, this is called, I think these are called zeroing in targets. Make sure, yep, that's showing up. So yeah, that is, I would say that's pretty accurate. Now, for anyone wondering, like, it's not just, as I said, it's not just this frame. This is 95mm. This natty that I've shot is a very similar accuracy. So at 90, that's me accurate at 95mm. So now, let's do the Ares. Just making sure. So yeah, total, that's my Ares. I got the copperhead. Because yeah, I know I've probably told this story before, but when they released the Ares, I liked the frame, it was just the colours that didn't do anything for me. So when they released the Python look, I think that was like late July, and I was about to like do vacation, like days off with my kid, like go out and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm not going to buy the Python one yet, I'll wait till after summer. And then I think towards the end of August, then they announced the Copperhead. And for me, being a Snake fan, it was like, yeah, I'm going for the Copperhead. Let's pop this. I still haven't figured out a good way of labelling this shoe rack for, like, the frames. That would be a real test. Like, if I put the labels on there, would I actually put them back in the right ones? Or would it be like if you're a Gen X like me, and you get to a point where you're looking through like your game discs or whatever the boxes to the cartridges, and you're going through and it's like, okay, here's the box for Double Dragon, and I've got Golden Axe. It's that's probably more likely. Hey Zach, how you doing? Oh, Zach, he's talking about getting a logo thing. When you said that, it's your logo, because immediately when you said it, you got to do the as soon as you said that, it was like logo doing like the hand like this or something. So we're going to do 10. I'm going to keep with everything that I do, and I'm still going to aim at that center diamond. But we're going to see for a 90mm how that is affected. So 10 shots. I've got to get used to this now. Let me... That's it. Right. I was just getting the feel. That's the only thing with that pulse, because it's so bulbous at the end. It feels great in the hand, but when you put it down and you pick up something else and you've gone from like doing like this to now doing this, it feels weird. So you have to kind of find your footing again. And it's the same, if I was shooting this and I went to the pulse, you kind of got to find that feel for it again. Right. I know, shut up and shoot. Okay, that actually looks more accurate. Oh, did you get a logo, Zach? So if you want my logo that I got, I just put that into like AI, because I asked Hillbilly how he done his, and he just like put in like a thing in if you use Chat GPT, you got to pay, because you only get like 3 images, and it always gets it wrong. I can't remember where I got mine. It was either the Google one or the Microsoft one done my logo, and it took ages. Like it was like, no, that's not right, and then it would put the wording wrong. AI is shit, by the way. I know some people have talked about AI and it taking people's jobs. My opinion on it, coming from someone in the tech world, will AI take people's jobs? Yes, absolutely. Like it'll take my job eventually. I do support things like that, so it's definitely coming. Can it do it, the job? No way, absolutely no way. So anyone who's seen my videos, you know the Penosaurus, the famous Penosaurus. So when I was painting that, I knew it like green, like lizardy, but the head of the penis, like the purple bit, I actually put that into ChatGPT and said, how can I get the colour that's the same as the end of a penis? It told me to call a rape crisis centre or sexual assault helpline. This is the thing that's going to take our jobs. So yeah, AI does not work at all. It's terrible. But of course, like that's what companies like. They just want to not pay people and just let a computer do things. So that's my $2. It's not the 2 cents, because 2 cents isn't worth fuck all now. So $2, but even $2 isn't worth anything these days. So, especially not Canadian. A little bit high on that. Al is AI. Yeah, like every time I see Al's name, I always see it as AI. So it's a fucking bot. Let's get him. So yeah, it's going high. That one pretty much went through exactly the same hole. If I'm seeing this correct. And I am kind of good. Oh, and I haven't forgotten something. Like I am like still trying to get that thing to work where if someone says shut up and shoot, it will flash up the words shut up and shoot. I'm trying to get it to work. Apparently you can do it, but I haven't got it to work yet. Right, let's just try and catch up. Oh yeah, so, sorry Shades, yeah, so it is my Carter. It is a nice frame. It's like, for me, like as you see, it's very thin, and I've got big gorilla hands. So my hands are on a diet. Feel free to fat shame my hands. Fat fucking fingers. Oh, you heading off, Ethan? Back to, geez, like back to, you must be literally like work, sleep, like. No, that felt wrong. The minute I drew that, that felt wrong. I didn't see where that went, but it looks like it's going through. That's like that hole at the top is getting bigger. So with the Aries, I don't know, it looks like I'm getting it through the same, looks like I'm getting it through the same hole. It must be, because like that red cloth flicked then. And I've been forgetting to count. Actually just got myself, let me scroll back a little bit, because I'm trying to be good with the chat. So shows, what material is that? Alright, yeah, one of the Leighton ones. Nice, Zach. Those copperheads look so, yeah, they do, Zach. Like, I love the copperhead look. I'm a big snake fan, so it was like Python or copperhead. Do I want to go constrictor or venom? It's so yeah. As Ethan, I know Ethan's gone, but Shady, as he said, it is my Carter, or is it your Carter? The Indonesian, I don't know who you mean by the Indonesian guy. Iggy? Do you mean Iggy? Who's, I think he's says he's in India or somewhere like that. He's never joined one of my lives or chats or anything, but I know he's in Mark's ones a lot. You're going to have to anchor about a quarter to a half higher on your face. Yeah, so I know he's gone now, Ethan, but see, this is why it's pushing me away from the 90s, because I anchor here, so this little triangular bit, I'm gonna look it up here. I tell you, I'm gonna write it on the wall in a Sharpie, because I do look it up, and then when it comes to doing a video, like, I can't remember what it is, but I already anchor here. Like, so let's say here, I think that's why, because in archery, like, you're lining it up with your eye pretty much, so you're going straight down. So I could go a little bit higher, but yeah, I would have to anchor up here, like there. If I was doing 90s all the time, that would be my anchor point. Like, you can't. So if I continue looking like if I continue with 90s, that's not to say I won't use 90s, but if I want accuracy, I'm going to go 95. But yeah, you can't. Like, I'd be, in the end, I'd be like up here. Like, that would be my draw. So the only way I could think of doing it is, of course, let me drop the ammo just so I don't accidentally shoot something, is if I do long draw, then my hand's up here. That might work. If I'd done like a half, I'm a little teapot, sure answer. If I do half long draw, that might work on a 90 frame, but I'm definitely not going to do it with this, because it's nice but it's expensive, so I'm not going to risk it on this one. What I may do, see, there's that frame that I absolutely detest. I could get that out. If that's 90, I could use that to practice long draw, and if that got screwed up, like, I don't care. But I also don't want to even hold that thing because I hate it so much. Right, let's see. One day you'll have money for the fancy pretty frames. It, as I'm learning, Zach, it kind of doesn't matter. They are nice. Like, it's easy to say, I know, like having one, but I mean, look how accurate you are and how good you are with what you've got. That's the evidence that you don't have to have the nice expensive frames. See, that was nearly on. This is why I wanted to do quite a few shots, because a lot have gone through that same hole at the top. You can see how big that has got. But I'm still every now and again getting it close to the target. So I don't know what I'm doing different. This is going to be an interesting video to look back on. See there, so I've suddenly... So it's going back a little bit, like, because look at that. It might... I'm wondering if it is the 95s I can just zero in faster with. But like this 90, it just took a long time. But now I'm getting a little bit of a grouping around that centre. Let's do a few more shots. I am finding it natural to flick my wrist as well. I know I said it because I like the archery, but does anyone else do that? Like, as you release, you just naturally want to push away. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, should I stop doing that? Is it good? I mean, it looks like it's good that I'm doing that. See, look at that grouping. I'm going to try aiming at the bottom of the grey circle. Because everything's above. Let's see if I aim at the bottom of that grey circle, just where that black line starts going down. Let's see what that does. Yeah, look at that. So 90s are okay with me then. It just takes me more time for, I don't know, like that muscle memory to start kicking in. I'm actually quite proud though. No, yeah, honestly, inside there is like this, I'm smiling inside. Because it's like thinking back from how I was shooting months ago to now, like, I honestly didn't think I'd ever get to that point of getting it in the circle consistently. I do have some fun targets, by the way, coming up for December. Because it's nearly December already. Seriously, like these... I think what it is for me, the reason years go by quickly is after Christmas everyone's skint and you're like, for fuck's sake, like you're waiting for that pay to come through to like make up for Christmas, and then all of a sudden it's February. I'm lucky February because like I don't have to worry about Valentine's Day. And then it's like March, spring break for the kids, and then it's like, oh, there's 3 months left until like end of the year. Well, for me, like next year, because my kid's graduating next May, June, whenever it is. And then summer comes around, and then like you're looking at, for me, I'm looking at Halloween because I love October. I've got to, I think the thing is, I've just got to stop fucking looking forward to stuff. You need a channel thinking about rusty balls. See, my balls got rusty in vinegar. I actually bought, like, I've got a whole bag. I got 2 of these. There. I got 2 of those bags. I can't remember, I'd have to look back where I got these, but they're covered in oil. And it was like, okay, how can I get all this oil off? And I can't remember where it was something, and it said put it in something and then put it in white vinegar. And I left it in there for a long time, and all my balls came out rusty. I don't think they're rusted. Like, I think it's just like there must be like this steel. Like, I think it's a carbon steel, and they put a coating over it, and the vinegar just ate that coating away. But they're not like rusty. They just went brown. Oh, my chat isn't scrolling. Oh, you've got the cophead coming, Al. Oh yeah, that's it, Turtle. Funny enough, like you saying about, because you said not everyone thinks I'm the turtle builder. Like, because I wondered that, because it was probably a month or so ago, and Mikey had like one of those. It looked like maybe a hockey shirt or something, and it had turtle slingshots on it, and I wondered if that was you. Tell you what, these bands, I do need to change these bands, because like this is a 20 to 12, but it's making my hand ache because it's, I think, a bit too long, a bit too short rather, sorry. Right, last one, I've lost count. There's probably like 15 or 20 shots into that. It's only mineral oil, keep it on. Yeah, I figured it's like nothing, like it wasn't, oh, this is a bad oil. It was just like, it was before I sort of got known more and sort of got a bit more sort of chatting with people and got to learning stuff. I wondered if it was like a machine oil. And it's like, well, when I release, is that oil going to make it slip and go off in a weird direction or something like that? That's why I wanted to wash it off. I'm actually really impressed with that. So see, I have to tell Chuckin and say, look, I've done the shooting with the Aries, you missed it. Right, let's pop that up there. Right, here we go. So obviously there was a lot more shots. So that was with... I've got to look up how to reverse this. I hate this whole camera reverse thing. So that's the Pulse. And that is the Aries. So if I hold them side by side... So I'm about the same. In all honesty, that is about the same. It just took me a few more. That it was 1 to 2 shots with the Pulse to get it on target or get it consistent, to the Aries, which took about 5. Now, see, now the big question is, and this is what I've been asking around for, 100. That's going to be the next thing. Actually, let's do the Natty, because I'm trying to do the Natty November. So let's go back to this. Let's do the can. Now, do you prefer that view or that view? We'll do like the opticians. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. It's probably, I think that's a little bit sort of stretched and squished. But let's move that across a little bit so it's in the centre. There's that little weird metal clip. It's like totally knotted up. So let's do a can. Freddie Mercury is 100. Have you shot it yet, Shades? It looks safe at the moment. I didn't hear anything. I'm just looking at that. It's like, oh, that looks like it's pulled through a little bit. It's weird going to different bands as well. Like these bands are heavier. I think these are 0.5. But because they're cut shorter. It's going to work its way across. So how is it? How is Freddie? Like if he's 100, what do you usually shoot? I know, like me, you're a Natty fan, so it's not really a case of, oh, I can shoot this exact millimetre, like this one from you. Like it's not 95. I think it's. I did measure it once. It's 1 mil bigger or shorter. It's either 94 or 96. But that's what I like about natties. You get what you get. There is no, oh, this is going to be this. It's no, this is what nature made. You have to work with nature. That feels weird. That felt weird then. I'm going to put the safety glasses on. I can't see any weirdness like on the frame, but when I drew back then, there's something felt not right. The universe wasn't balanced. And it's my movie night tonight. It's one of like the other people's birthday, so they got to choose. And great British comedy tonight, Hot Fuzz. All sorts, 88 to 95, whatever they end up at. Yeah, exactly, Shades. That's why I love natties. Like, you have to work with it. Like, as I said, like I love Naked and Afraid, the show, and it always makes me like, as soon as you see someone at the beginning of the show, they go, I'm going to make nature my bitch, I'm going to make Africa my bitch, and it's like, oh, you know that fucker's tapping out. They're going to be destroyed in days. And in most cases it is, because nature is nature. So, but that's what I love about natties. Like, exactly like what you said. They end up with whatever they end up with. Because I'm not an artist, but I always liked like in Alberta, of course we get a lot of snow, ice, stuff like that. And if you go up to Banff, you might have heard of BANFF, that's like all the skiing town and all that. So that's like about an hour's drive for me. when you go up there in the winter, they've got like giant bits of ice, and they've got like these people like the chainsaws, and they're carving things out. It is really nice. Like, I am not artistic, but I do respect people with like an artistic talent, like that can do stuff like that. Really wished I could do it. So I'm not in that jealous way, but it's like I really can respect people's artwork when they're doing it. But as I say, like those people and wood carvers as well, same thing with them. They say like the sculpture is in the wood or the sculpture is in the ice. I'm just freeing it by like taking off bits. So that's kind of the similar to making a natty. You get that fork, that Y shape, and then you take out of it what it's already like in there. You're just removing wood to free it. Like, that's what I like about natties. Yes, I am a bit of a hippie with very short hair. Slightly off on this. This band, the lower band, feels loose. When I draw back, it feels like the top one's tight, but the bottom one is stretching more. Feels weird. Tales of the Unexpected. Yeah, I like that, Al. I've got that, actually, Tales of the Unexpected. I haven't watched them all yet. I'm sort of trying to save something good to watch at Christmas. Because for the first time in years, I actually get that time off. In Canada, like a lot of companies are closed between Christmas and New Year. I've always had to work because I'm like one of the key people there. But this year we've got someone else working. She's all trained up, so she can look after the. Like, I've 100% confidence in her for doing the job. So I'll actually get a week off at Christmas. I can just sit back and relax and watch stuff. Are you liking this view, like the zoomed in? Is that better, or do you prefer it like the zoomed out whole box thing? Like, I've got both, so when I'm doing other things I can still zoom out. Like, I've got 3 settings. Basically for this I use a bit of software. I don't use YouTube for doing this, so I can go whoomp and just have me, or I can do that, or I can zoom in. I can probably set up others as well, but I don't think like my face and then the side of my head. Like, I always forget about this camera. I always totally forget it's even there. I think that this does. I know I'm missing this. I need to change this band set because I draw back and the bottom feels like. It feels like I've got like a 0.5 on the top and 0.4 on the bottom. Like, it's really loose. And I can't get it to feel right. Oh, look at that, straight through. That is pretty good. Like, I'll see if I can get a better quality camera. Just for the one up there, so when it's zoomed in, it looks better. I hear a dog coming down the stairs. What do you want? No, he's just going to stay on the stairs. It's not to Al. I appreciate that. Honestly, like this isn't a like. It's not. It's fairly easy to do this, and I'm kind of being not meaning to sound like a dick, but I suppose because I work in IT, so I've got like the webcams. It's all webcams, but I have them laying around because I work in computers. So like they're always laying around, like the hard disk things. They're always laying around somewhere. But yeah, all this is just a standard. Let me. I can't get the angle right. There, you can see to the left, just where that paper is. That's just a standard PC. That's all it is. It's like 10 years old. No, it's older than that. It's probably probably about 10 years old. And then all it is just a couple of webcams plugged into it. And as I said, like if anyone's got an old PC and junk things like that, I honestly don't mind helping people out. I'll take pictures and show you exactly how it's done, show you the software I use. Like, I'm happy to guide anyone to get it. But like, I appreciate it is a nice setup, like how I have it. But anyone wants help setting up something like this, just let me know. So Tales, yeah, I can't, like Tales the Unexpected, I can't remember a lot of them. I can remember the beginning music, like the silhouette of the women doing all the dancing. It's kind of like a little bit of a James Bondy opening thing, isn't it? But I've been saving up TV shows as well. One of the TV shows I love, like again, like I'm a big horror fan. So I've been watching, like I did watch it anyway, but I watched From. It's I don't because like of course there's different channels up here than what you have in the States. But it's literally just a word From. Oh, they've just done season 3, so I watched season 1 and 2, and it's so good. And I haven't watched any of season 3, so I'm probably gonna binge that like near Christmas. Anyone else seen that? From? If you like horror kind of things, and like look up that there's a trailer to it. Like do From trailer season 1 on YouTube to get like, and it explains this in the trailer. Basically, it's this town. So it begins off with this family, like mum, dad, daughter, son, and they're driving through this town, and they get to the end of this road and there's a tree fallen over, and they're like, okay, let's turn back. There was a town just like 5 minutes back, let's go back there. And they go back, and then they say, oh yeah, like take this other route instead. And they're driving there, I think it's a Winnebago, they go round and they just keep going round in circles, and now they're like trapped in this loop and they can't get out of this village. No matter what way you go, you're always stuck in this same village. Like, they can't get to that fallen down tree, it's not there anymore. But whenever they drive, they just keep going around in circles without noticing it. But they're not literally, like, it's like this time warp kind of thing. Yeah, Al, From. And so, like, they're driving down the road, and all of a sudden they'll cross the same bridge they did, like, 5 minutes ago. And then they go through the town, and they're like, this is weird, and they'll keep driving, and they're thinking, we're going to get to this fallen down tree again. And they keep going, and they cross this bridge, and then they reach the village again. But the horror bit comes at night. Like, these creatures come out at night, and they're not vampires, but they're little. Do you have to invite them in? No. Like, basically, if you're out in the open, you get torn to shreds by these like creature things at night. It is really, really good. If you watched Lost many years ago, but this is a lot better than Lost. But if you watch that, it's got a similar vibe, but put a lot more horror into it. But it is like really good, and they've done. I think we're on season 3, and they've done like 8 or 9 episodes so far. So I'm going to watch that in December. I've got a few more. Well, guys, got to go. I'll see you later, Knuckles. Oh, Patrick. Sorry, did I say hello, Patrick? I don't know if I saw your name. Maybe there was one point the chat wasn't scrolling. So sorry. I just noticed you there. So how you doing, Patrick? But yeah, like I say, this is the third year it's running. Here, it's on Amazon here, but I can't say it'll be on Amazon in the States because like it's different. Like what in the US, what you've got on Netflix is different to what we've got. There's, I don't know, guessing there's like 75% overlap, but then there's lots of stuff you've got on your Netflix that we're not allowed to have. And there'll be probably like Canadian stuff that we've got that you don't have, and you're not missing out on that. I don't pay for Netflix anyway. Like, right, I'm missing a few too many on this. Let's go to the Apex. It's the bands on there. The bands feel weird. They feel off. Yeah, I started to give up on Netflix a few years ago when what's her that actress done her goop shit, like her fucking vagina scented candles and Gwyneth Paltrow. That's it. When it's like, okay, if this is the shit that you're going to put out, I'm not paying for this. And then the big one for me was that Cuties documentary. Yeah, no. That was the nail in the coffin for Netflix for me. It's like, nope, not having anything to do with this. Call me old-fashioned, but to me there is no justification for filming 12-year-old little girls twerking. No, just no. So yeah, that was when I quit on Netflix and like, nope, never again. And let's face it, after that fucking fight as well last week, like who wants to pay for Netflix now? I subscribe because a lot of my like all my TV's movies. So I subscribe to a lot of channels like Rotten Tomatoes, stuff like that, so I can keep up to date, like trailers, TV shows, and all that. And Rotten Tomatoes, nearly every week, like on a Saturday morning, they do a compilation video, and it's usually like 30-40 minutes long of all the trailers that they've had in the last week. So not every, it's all dependent, of course, on like if stuff is being released. And when I'm watching that, they've literally got the trailer and they just chain them on one after the other. As soon as like it's like going through and it gets to a new trailer and it goes da-dung and a big red N comes up, fast forward, get through this, it's going to be shit. See, it only took me a couple of shots with a 95. And it is still so hot down here. I need like in Safeway, like the grocery store, you know, when they've got like those misters over the vegetables. I need one of those up here, and it just temperature sensor. And when it senses I get too hot, it sort of goes. Psh, I should get a little spray bottle, just spray me. Do a wet t-shirt competition with just me. Well, at least I'd win. Those are too small. Those are small. I emptied out my catch box because it had been a while. And for some reason I've got a mixture of ammo in there. Let's take these off. I think I'm good now. Yeah, Al, it is good. I say, like, 2 seasons have gone, and they're nearly at the end of season 3. But yeah, just look up the trailer for season 1, and you'll see, like, they do show you some things. But right, so it's nearly an hour. I'll do 3 more shots on the can and then I'll call it. Just because it's so hot, like, seriously, like, I don't know, I'm out of ideas what to do to cool this bloody basement down. Hey, doggy, how you doing? Not you. Right, give me just a couple of minutes. Just for those who haven't seen. Didn't help you just turned up, doggy, and I said hello, doggy, and now he's... No, he probably wants to go out, so... Give me just 1 more minute and I'll let you out. So he doesn't fucking know. Like, I'm going to strangle you to death in a minute, and then I'm going to punch you several times. He doesn't know what I'm saying. I'm going to sell you for $1 million. No one would pay that though. I'd probably get 1 bag of jelly beans. Would be funny if he did know what I was actually saying, and he's like, "Fuck you." If only I had vocal cords, I would answer. He probably has a posh British accent. Right, I lost count, so we do 2 more. I don't think we'll get the can cut. We'll do that another night. But yeah, it's because I'm sweating. It's so hot down here. So last one, then we call it. There. Well, thank you everyone for joining in my little science experiment. So I'll leave you with that. Everyone have a good evening, and I'll probably see you on the next one. Have a good one.